Alright, so how did you feel about One Piece chapter 1022? Man, oh my god, the way how I felt about it, man, let's just get right into it. But before that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like anime manga content uploaded straight into your YouTube feed and to help the YouTube algorithm push this video. So we open up with the cover page being a cover request of the Tontadas playing hide and go seek with a giant frog. But then I read the title, so I read the text and it says, the title of the chapter is The Stars Take the Stage, and if that doesn't get you hype off rip, son, oh my god, this is crazy. The star, it's like, first of all, that title, it just reinvigorates something in me. I'm like, damn, something's gonna happen this chapter. I know what's gonna happen. I read the spoilers, but come on, like, that is a fire, like, fuego name. Like, first of all, it shits on every other Straw Hat if we're keeping it a buck. Like, it's basically saying, yo, move aside, Nami, Robin, Usopp, Frankie. The real stars is taking the stage. Anyways, let's get in the chat. So we open up with a little narration that I'm guessing it's from like CP0, and basically what they're saying, they're kind of just showing us like the Flying Six members that are down. We actually get a spread where it shows where each of them are, but then we get a close-up of the actual like ones that are knocked out. So we see who's who. He's done, he's finished. Black Maria's out cold, which was weird because Black Maria, we didn't see her body. Well, we saw her body, but then like when we saw Brooke pick up Robin, like her body was gone, but whatever. And then we see the guy that Frankie was fighting is down, but we do not see OT in page 1, so that could still be a thing. And then the narration continues, but we move out of the actual like Onigashima and we see it, and we see that, okay, it's approaching Wano and it's gonna be there in like 15 minutes. Then we see Luffy, who's fat from all the food that he ate. It's like, yo, come on, man, like, you're not gonna what are you gonna do with all that mouth? Pause. Eat Kaido or something, come on. So then we cut over to the 3rd floor and we see Raizo versus Fukurokuju, and we see like they duking it out, they going crazy, like they're fighting it out like real men. They using new attacks, they doing everything, like they real niggas out there. And then Raizo's kind of like, yo, why are you choosing to still serve Orochi? Like, how could you align with somebody like him? And then Fukurokuju is like, I'm a ninja and it's my duty to serve the current shogun of Wano. It's a conquest. He basically says, look, yo, y'all niggas is like putting feelings and loyalty into this shit, and it's really not all about that. It's really not, and y'all need to just relax, and you wouldn't have all this pain if you just did what you had to do. That's what a ninja does. And they kind of just have this argument, and it's like, yo, like obviously we all know this guy's clearly wrong, but you could kind of see where he's coming from. Like, he just don't want to be balling with the BS. So then we still on the 3rd floor, but we cut over to Killer versus Hawkins, and man, this shit get crazy. Like, oh my god, guys. So what happens is like it seems like Killer is winning. Like it kind of, when we come back, it kind of seems like, yo, he's doing his thing against Hawkins, because Hawkins is strong and all, but like, come on, like Killer is stronger than Hawkins, like, obviously. And you know, Killer basically running the ones with him. He stabbed him in the side for a second, and then what Killer reveals, I mean, what Hawkins reveals to us is insane. Killer is like, yo, how many like lives do you have left? And then Hawkins is like, well, it doesn't really matter how many I have. I don't have many left. What you should be asking is, whose life do I have connected to this? And then he basically implies that it's Kid. And then we cut over and we see Kid also getting stabbed in the exact same place where the straw man got stabbed. And a quick side note, like, their fight with Big Mom seems to be going all right. Like, I mean, not too great, because Big Mom over there, her fat belly, just smiling, like, but it doesn't, I mean, they still standing. So essentially, Hawkins says to Killer, like, yo, if you find a way to actually kill me, you're just gonna be killing your captain. So I want to see what you're gonna actually have to do here. And then in this moment, you really kind of feel for Killer, man. Like, Oda is a genius when it comes to shit. Cause this is great. This is great storytelling right here. I wish we watched this fight, honestly. Now, I was on Reddit and I did see somebody commented the way how Killer could kind of win this fight is by looking or knowing his captain, because he at Kid and being like, okay, there are certain parts of his body that are made up of just metal. So those parts of his body, like his arm, because he doesn't have an arm, So those parts are the parts where he can aim at on the straw man and kind of defeat him, but there aren't, I mean, obviously not, his heart isn't made out of metal, so it's kind of like he can only really stab up that arm a little bit. So we cut over to the Skull Dome and immediate disappointment. Okay, so we see Sanji is he's not knocked out, but he's on the floor because he's going against both King and Queen, and he's like, yo, I'm be honest, like, going against the two of these niggas is a lot, okay? Like, I can't do this shit. So we see that, and then we see a big, like, two-page, well, not double-page spread, but it's a big spread panel of King and Queen both standing, like, they're like hulking next to each other, and they're like huge. Like, it really puts into perspective like how big they are. Then we cut over to another panel where, well, Sanji actually says, look, they're about to go for Zoro. I gotta do something. Then we cut over and we see like one of the photos, they say something like, yo, somebody gotta do something. Marco, somebody. Then we see Marco, and somebody's like, yo, Marco is at his limit. And immediately I see a picture of Marco, we see the panel, and then I'm like, no way my nigga Marco is beat the fuck up like this. Like, this is crazy. Boom, we get Sanji, he gets up, attacks Queen, kicks him right in the face. He's like, yo, I'm right here, come get me. Y'all was looking for me, I'm here. I had somebody tell me I fell off and I needed that. So then we see King, and he's like, yo, we need to get Zoro. That is the plan, attack him. And basically he's talking to Perospero, don't let him recover, because they trying some weird healing technique and they just doing some weird shit over there. And we see Perospero, he tries to attack Sanji because, you know, Perospero be on some he just be on some upset stuff. So he tries to shoot an arrow at him, and then the big cat Nekomamushi, former member of the Roger Pirates, comes up and he's like, yo, I'm here to take revenge for my boy Pedro, all right? So yeah, you're my appointment now, okay? Nekomamushi came in and stopped all that shit up real quick. Mop that shit up real quick. We're gonna get to scrapping, me and you now, okay? Basically after that, we cut over to Zoro and King. Like, they're kind of using Zoro as like catcher the flag right now. Like, they're using him like a ball, like yo, let's get Zoro, and you know, everybody else is running with Zoro, so like, it's kind of crazy. So basically King finally catches up with them, and he tries to attack Zoro, you know, because they playing real dirty. They don't want Zoro to get back up. But then Marco comes in and stops all that shit up real quick. He says, look, yo, he does a big attack that stops King's attack, and he's basically like, King, you know, I used to hear about a race that lived on the Red Line that was able to conjure fire. And guys, I was so wrong about that in the spoilers. I'm sorry. If you think I was stupid because of that, it's my bad. But they can just conjure and create fire. And then he basically says, King of the Flames, right? And man, like, yo, it's crazy. So then we get Queen and King basically saying, yo, you still up? Like, dude, it's time for you to be done. Like, what? You and the rest of the White Beard Pirates need to just die already. Like, come on, like, relax, King and Queen. Like, come on, like, don't do that. Y'all in the same era with them. And then Marco kind of like agrees, and he's like, yeah, he throws his arms up and he's like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I've done my part. And it's like Chopper and the rest of the people who Chopper's with, it's just like, yo, what do you mean you've done your part? Who's gonna, what? And then Marco says the literal chapter title. He's like, you know what? It's time for the stars to take the stage. And that's when it gets crazy. Yo, all right, so we see Zoro, he says 3-sword style. We see Sanji, he says Diablo Jambe. And then we get this beautiful double page spread of them, of Zoro going like onigiri and Sanji being like shot, and they both attack King and Queen. And then we get them both saying, hey, Curly Brow, if we win this, and Sanji's like, I know, he's smiling a little bit, it's finally gonna be in sight. Luffy becomes the king of the pirates, and that's how we end this fire chapter. Yo, guys, I'm screaming, I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, this is honestly, there's nothing better than this chapter right now. You cannot tell me nothing. Like, you cannot tell me nothing. This chapter is a 10 out of 10. Please, like, we even had to go 10 minutes on this because this chapter is a 10 out of 10. Please tell me what you guys think of this chapter in the comments. Man, this chapter was amazing. Like, we need to really break down and discuss this chapter.